Welcome back to the Mac and T Show podcast. Like always, I am your co-host Brian Mackay, and I am with
T Davis.
Yes, indeed.
Building, people.
Yes, indeed. Happy Friday, T.
Praise Jesus. Another day, Lord.
Well, we're gonna kick it right off with a little NBA talk. This week they had the draft lottery for the 2015 NBA draft. The first three picks will be the Minnesota Timberwolves at number 1, the Los Angeles Lakers at number 2, and the Philadelphia 76ers with the third pick. A lot of people are in uproar, or a lot of Knicks fans, let me just say that, in uproar all over the internet with the Knicks dropping to the 4th pick. A lot of talk that they could possibly trade it. I don't know. There's enough talent in this draft that I believe they could get them a very good player at the 4th pick. But
yeah, they can get the point guard Muday from that's been playing in China.
Yes, they could.
Because they need a point. They don't have one. And if you're gonna run the good triangle, he about 6'5". You need a good passer, and he'll be like hopefully he'll be better than Ron Harper, but Harper was fine, I guess, though, offensively for what they wanted to do. And
yeah, I mean, Harper fit with the Bulls because they already had Michael Scotty. You know, they already had a nice little foundation. And with the triangle, and the way the Bulls ran it, you had Michael Scotty, and in the early years you had Horace Grant. Later you had Dennis Rodman at the 4. And then you could just put a decent 5 and a point guard with them, and they'll be rolling, which they were.
Yeah, or let's see, it's plenty of kids that they can get. They just need pieces. They can't. I mean, somebody might want a piece in particular that they might trade. You can say, "I'll give you my 10 and whatever for your 4. Might pick this year and 1 next year or something." But
I just think Phil Jackson may be kind of feeling a little pressure, and just to win now. So I think he'll try and trade that pick to get an established piece.
If he saw what Isaiah Thomas did, he'll be fine.
Everybody witnessed that, but apparently the Knicks don't care because they just bring him right back into the family.
Not from a standpoint of like harassing people, but they weren't successful. He didn't make good picks, so I mean, I'm sure Phil would make a better judge of talent than him. He'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
And like we said in another podcast, they may have to give up on this whole triangle thing, because
yeah, I think the triangle had its time in the NBA. I think it's moved on from that time. It's a different breed of kids, as we've talked about in the past.
Like you would need a LeBron, like that's unselfish and ain't worried about numbers because he know he can get his. Then you would need pieces like the extra pieces like Houston had with the Gator and Trevor Ariza. Like people that can hit that open 3 when LeBron or whoever might get doubled. Then you just need a center, any center fit the bill. I mean, because they had Andy Cartwright, they had
Luke Longley,
they had, so long as the center can defend and make a layup. Maybe you want a 4, stretch 4, you know, that can hit, like, you could get even like, Brendan Bass, he can hit that little free throw, you know, because Horace Grant used to hit that was his money, just that little 15, 20 footer.
Yes,
so I think it could be wrong, but
yeah, but they have the wrong personnel for it.
Because Carmelo ain't that dude that's trying to pass, and he's trying to get his, and he don't really make anybody on his team better, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, the biggest knock on him is the fact that he doesn't make anyone better. I mean, the biggest difference between him and LeBron is LeBron makes people around him better. You know. He drives to the basket looking to be unselfish. And Carmelo, if he's driving to the basket, he's putting a shot up.
Right. And the only reason he passing is because he has to, not because he wants.
Well, staying with the draft theme, I want to do something a little different, and I want to let you and I both kind of pick our top 5 picks. Who we think will go where. And are you ready, or you want me to go first?
You can go. You can go. Let me pull up these rookies to beat.
Okay. My first 5, I got the Timberwolves taking Karl Anthony Towns from the University of Kentucky. And then I have the Los Angeles Lakers running to the podium to select Jahlil Okafor from Duke. Then I got it going a little tricky, a little off the rail. I have the Philadelphia 76ers taking Emmanuel Mudiay from China. That's the young kid that you spoke of a little earlier about that left high school and graduated from high school and went to China for a year and is now eligible for the draft instead of going to college. So I got the 76ers taking him with the 3rd pick, which completely shocks the Knicks, who have been in trade talks this entire time in my draft world. They've been in trade talks, talking to teams, and they now have a chance to get D'Angelo Russell from Ohio State. But they stay with their original plan. They trade the 4th pick to the Chicago Bulls for Jimmy Butler and picks and some cash incentives so they can get a free agent later. They trade the number 4 pick. The Bulls select D'Angelo Russell, the guard out of Ohio State, to fill Jimmy Butler's place. And then we go to the 5th pick. I have the Orlando Magic taking Justice Winslow, the guard from Duke.
And that sounds great. You just trying to get the Chicago Bulls back. I see what you're doing. I see it.
Hey.
No, I see what you're doing.
I mean, it is what it is. If we got to get better that way, we just got to get better.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. So, I really hadn't even thought about a 5th player, like whatever. But I did have Towns, and Towns going to Minnesota. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they take Okafor. And then whoever, if they take Okafor, then the Lakers gonna take Towns. Whichever, it's just gonna be a flip flop. Them going to pretty much lock.
Right.
Now 3, the only reason I don't see them taking Mudiay is because they got Carter Williams.
No, they don't.
He gone?
They traded him to Minnesota. I mean, not Minnesota, Milwaukee. He's with the Bucks. That's why I did that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized that because who watches the Bucks?
Right. Right before the trade deadline, they traded him to Milwaukee.
So yeah, then that means they probably will take Mudiay to go along with all the bigs and get them a young guard. But they're gonna be bad again. I mean, they liable to wind up in the lottery again. I don't know what they're doing. But anyhow, and then the Knicks, I don't think they would take the kid from Ohio. I don't know. They're gonna be having a fire sale for that poor kid. Trying to get rid of him.
Yes.
If Mudiay not there, they really gonna have a fire sale for that. But they might take it was a guard that was like an all around guard from Duke. Can't think his name, and I can't find the
name. Winslow?
Maybe that's his name.
Yeah.
God, I don't know what they're gonna do if that happens. I'm sure they got. That's why they make the big bucks.
Right.
And the rest of these kids, you just going on potential.
Right.
I mean, all of them going on potential, but it ain't like it's been no stars besides Okafor and Towns that people gonna fight over. And we don't know what Mudiay been doing over in China.
And that goes with all the foreign kids that'll be in the draft. We don't know anything about them, so we don't have the scout. We don't have the scouts out there for the MACnT show to
yeah, you might get a Manu Ginobili, but you might just get a Mob Top, whatever his name, Mob Top or something.
Oh yeah, the boy that with the Pistons a couple years ago that they chose number 2 after LeBron.
Yeah, you might just waste a pick.
Milicic.
Oh, yes. All my listeners, y'all know what we talking about if y'all watch any kind of sports.
Yes.
If not, Google it. Look, if not, Google it. So
30 for 30 in 2020. Get ready, Darko Milicic.
Right.
The second pick in the one of the best drafts ever.
Hope that I'm just wanting the Lakers to get
better.
Something in my spirit is telling me Towns, and I might be wrong, but I don't think he's gonna be as defensively. Now that's the concern that everybody having, but
yeah.
I mean, if you work on defense, it ain't really that hard. You just gotta want to do it. It ain't like he gonna be guarding Shaq or somebody.
Right.
Dwight Howard not that good offensively. DeAndre Jordan not that good offensively. But what other centers out there?
No.
Yeah. Okay, so
right.
See, defense ain't gonna be that big of a deal unless
like you and I talk about all the time. Dwight Howard not even a true center. He about 6'9.5" with shoes off.
So it ain't like he gonna struggle that bad because they say he's 6'11" with a 7-foot something wingspan.
Right.
So he gonna be able to do enough.
I think with Towns, you're drafting off of potential. With Okafor, you're getting someone that's more established. Yes, he has a lot to grow from, but he's more established than Towns is at this point.
So
more polished. That's the word, polished.
Yeah, he's more polished. I ain't worried about Chicago. I'm in New York, but they should be concerned. I don't really know what they gonna do if that boy gone.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where they go. Let's see, but we'll keep it with the NBA. The playoffs. We're in the conference finals now. In the Eastern Conference, you got Cleveland up 1-0 on Atlanta. And the Western Conference just had their game 2 last night, and Golden State is up 2-0 on Houston. In 2 very close games, 2 games that Houston had a chance to win. Just could never get over the hump. But a lot of people were kind of counting them out before the series even started, so it's good to at least see them making a run at it.
So this is the thing with Houston. One, you just had this long, grueling, emotionally grueling too, because besides it was mentally like to go from 3-1 and winning 3 straight games. Not only does that take a physical toll, but mentally it's draining. And once you get over it, then it's kind of like you flush out your system, and now you got to reboot and get ready for a team that's got more firepower than the Clippers. Because I mean, I'm thinking Curry way more of a headache than Chris Paul is. If not, I would say that, because Chris ain't really trying to shoot no threes. And Chris is an okay defender, but Curry defends very well. He averaging like 2 or 3 steals. They got great role pieces with Barnes and Iguodala and
Draymond Green.
Some people think that Klay Thompson's a star. I'm saying he's a great role piece. They ain't got but one star, and that's Curry.
Yeah, I think Klay Thompson plays his role very well.
Well, because Dwight Howard isn't as big as we know, like we've been saying, he can get here. They still ain't gonna. Houston in trouble. They better hope they don't lose one at home, because unlike the Clippers, Curry gonna have these boys ready to finish them off.
Right. Well, I think that's gonna take us to our first break. When we come back, we'll jump into a little NFL talk. They had some rule changes over this week regarding the extra point and 2-point conversions. And also we'll give you an update on DeflateGate. Tom Brady has put in his appeal. So we'll get into that on the other side. And thank you all for listening, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mac and T Show podcast. The NFL, they had some rule changes this come down and be approved this past week. The extra point, the snap will now be from the 15-yard line, which I don't really know what to be. I guess they're going to give the defense more of a chance with that. I don't know what their thought process.
I don't know who they're trying to appease with that, folks. That just make that a 25-yard field goal, and if you can't make that, you're probably not in the NFL.
Right. I mean, that's not going to be any problem for any kickers. But this is where
the idea that they had of narrowing the goal.
Right.
Now that could be a problem visually until you got used to it, but moving it back and whatever.
I don't understand. They're moving the extra point kick back, but the snap at least, and then the 2-point conversion will still be from the 2-yard line. So I guess if you're going out there and you're going to show the defense that you're going for 2 points, you can line up at the 2-yard line. But if you're not going to show them, because there's still going to be people that's going to try and go for 2 points, they're going to try and fake it. Right. That's basically what this kind of has taken away. There won't be as many people who will take that chance with it moved back some.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and the defense. The defense will be able. The defense will be able to return any botch conversion try if they get an interception, or if the kick goes wide and they catch it, they'll be able to return it now. So that is a change.
Oh, well, that's just gonna be great. Like most of this stuff is flukish, and it rarely happens. I
can't wait for Madden. I hope they implement this on Madden.
I can't understand though how you can go if you go for 2, it should be at the same spot that you have to kick a field goal from.
Right.
Why do you get a little help to go for 2?
Yeah, I think it should all be the same spot.
5-yard line.
And they say that helps the defense to be that close. I don't understand how, because
it cuts down how much space they have to guard. Like I remember one time we was watching Tennessee play Florida. Me and Larry went to the game in the swamp, and we always played them close back in the day. It ain't really been no fun now, but somebody got an interception or something, and Tennessee wound up with the ball on the 1. And everybody's, oh, yeah. But our DBs have been playing terrible. And I was like, no, that's 99 yards. They got to go the other way, which is a lot of field to have to cover and think about. But anyway, yeah, I think having less space to guard is better for the defense.
Yeah. Staying with the NFL, the update with DeflateGate. Tom Brady has put in his appeal through the NFL Players Association. It looks like he's fixing to take this as far as he can take it. He's got a lawyer who it looks like he's ready to battle the NFL. And Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, has come out, and after a few meetings with Roger Goodell, commissioner of the NFL, he's come out in his press conference. He said that while they don't agree with the penalties handed down, they are not going to oppose them, not going to appeal them. They're just going to take the fines and the loss of draft picks and move on for the betterment of the league and the rest of the teams.
Well, that's just to get them out of the line. I would too. And that's like when people do a plea bargain and be like, I don't want this to stay in the media and tarnish my name any further. And that's pretty much like they probably making $500 million or something.
Right.
I might be exaggerating, but I'm sure they worth a lot. They probably worth close to $2 or $3 billion at least. So for them to pay that, that's like us paying $100 fine for something. Just go ahead and pay that little fine and get your name out of the media. And if Tom Brady want to do whatever, let him.
Right. Kraft did mention that this part of them not appealing has nothing to do with Tom Brady's appeal. It's separate from that. But I think with Brady, I believe this is what's going to happen. His suspension will be reduced from 4 games to 2, and that will just show everyone in the world that no, we didn't have concrete evidence that he was involved, But because he was not forthcoming and not willing to help out within the investigation, where he wouldn't give up his phone and all that stuff, he is going to be suspended 2 games for that. That's basically what he's going to be suspended for.
Look, this ain't no court of law. We don't need no preponderance of evidence or whatever. Like, you know, that you got to be, what the defense usually have to prove, it was more likely than not or whatever. This ain't the court of law. If somebody said, we couldn't prove you didn't do it, but it's a lot of effort that look like you had something to do with it, and your business want to, like your employee want to find you, I mean, the company umbrella that you work under, because it's really like the NFL is a conglomerate with 29 little companies under it. So if they want to find you for being reckless or putting them in a bad situation, I mean, just take your fine.
Right.
Did he ever come out and say he didn't do it?
He has not denied it. He's not made any statements on it whatsoever. So
look, I'm being led to believe you did it, because if you said that I went out and flattened the basketball at halftime, I paid one of the officials at the score table because I like my ball a little bit, not bounce so high, so I can palm it or whatever. Right. I'm coming out flat and say I didn't do it.
Right. If you're being accused of something that you know you didn't do, you coming out and you're defending yourself.
Who does? Even people that's guilty say they didn't do it. Like, what?
I guess maybe you could see that because of the New England Patriots past, he probably feels like even if he comes out and denies it, that nobody's going to believe him because of past events.
Well, didn't nobody believe Hernandez with all that, and he still said not guilty.
Yeah, and now he's got a lifetime tattoo in prison, getting into fights. But that's a whole nother story for another day.
Right. So, just I'm not guilty. I didn't do it. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Right.
But he probably know that there's something out there that might come back and bite him in the butt if the wrong thing come out. So he can't say that or won't say it. Or he's just arrogant, like wealthy white male humans tend to be, and he just like, y'all prove it. I ain't gonna say nothing, y'all prove it. And then I'm gonna just pay my attorneys, and I don't have to, y'all do whatever. And I'll see you in the court of law.
If the 4-game suspension is upheld, he will be back on Sunday Night Football against the Colts, which is who all this started against. So I think that'll be very interesting to see what happens with that.
Well, and again, nobody really cares. Like, his peers might look at him differently. The people that's going to look at when it comes time for Hall of Fame, some of them, it might take him a little longer to get in with all the stuff. If one more thing pop up, it's definitely going to take him a long time to get in.
I think one thing that's really telling about this whole situation, no other NFL quarterbacks are saying anything. They're not commenting one way or the other.
Yeah, nobody's going to come out and say, I did it too.
Right.
Maybe when they retire, they'll be like Jerry Rice and say, I put stigma on my gloves.
Yeah, all those touchdowns, that 206 touchdowns or whatever he has.
Yeah.
You know, 199 of them, I had stick them.
And they can't punish you. Yeah.
What they gonna do? Take them away? So I still got them.
Right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna bring us to our next break. When we come back, we will talk about lip sync battle. Last night's episode had Salt and Pepper battling against each other. And as well, we will talk about a little story involving a message in a bottle. So that's all for the other side. Well, thank you all for listening, and we will be right back. Welcome back to the Mac and T show. Lip sync battle. Last night's episode on Spike TV had Salt and Pepa going against one another. Salt opened up the first round with Since You Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. I thought she did. I'll be just flat out and say I thought she did well. I thought both of them did well all throughout the show. I thought they had the crowd involved, but I mean I thought she started it off well with Since You Been Gone. She kind of played it up like she was doing a little girly girl, and she's, you know, just twirling her hair and all that good stuff, and had the crowd good in height. And then Pepa came in with her first round song, and you know she got up there, and before she got started, she got ready to ignite the light and let it shine. And she went out there, she owned the night like the 4th of July. Why did she do that? Cause baby, she's a firework. Yes, she did Firework by Katy Perry. I thought she was very good. You know, that's just a song that I know when I heard it, I started getting excited, and the crowd really got into it because it's just a song that everybody loves, and everybody loves Katy Perry right now. So the crowd really loved it. Thought she got a real good pop from it. Second round, Salt started it off with It's Tricky by Run DMC.
It's tricky, right around it, right around it, right on top, it's tricky.
I mean, she came out there with a little posse of dancers, and I mean, she was dressed, had the little hat on, the little chain and everything. She was out there doing something. And they both admitted after she was done, LL Cool J kind of interviews them or whatever, and after she was done with her song, both Salt and Pepa admitted that they patterned themselves after Run DMC. So it was very good for her to do that song. She really enjoyed doing it. Pepa's song for the second round was Gloria Gaynor's "I Will Survive." She came out with the flashy dress, the big afro.
That's what the afro is for. Okay.
Yes, and whenever she came out, my first thought was the pictures I have from basketball camp. I don't know what year it was, but when you had picked out your hair and you had right before you started doing your dreads, you had the big afro. And I mean, it was just perfectly round and everything. But no, Pepa winds up winning the belt. But I thought it could have gone either way. I think they just basically went off of crowd reaction to Firework. But Pepa wins the belt. Staying.
Trick. Okay, I'm sorry.
Staying with current news. A man from Iona, Michigan, was out mushroom hunting. I don't know anything about that. So if any of our listeners do, you could let us know on our Twitter and through email. But he was mushroom hunting and comes across one of the old time capsules that had, they used to hold the old film that you go get developed. Now you can just put the pictures on your computer from your smartphone. But yeah, he came across one of those capsules, opened it up, and found a letter and 2 drawings done by 2 Ohio girls from 1994. Had the date and everything on it. As I was researching the article, I found that the news in the area, the news stations in the area, wound up contacting one of the girls. And at the time they found out that she had lost contact with her friend that she did this with and had reconnected because of this story. They were able to reconnect and catch up on old times, and I thought that was really cool that that they did that. They put it out in the river way back in 1994, and 21 years later it shows up.
Oh, you said way back. Okay.
I'm sorry, yeah, way back.
Most of people probably have done things like this, and it's just the luck of the draw if somebody happened to be mushroom hunting where yours,
right,
where yours is or not. Because people throw bottles put letters in the bottle or whatever and throw them in the ocean and all kinds of stuff. And you might get lucky. Yours might just wind up on the bottom of the ocean. But that's cool that they were able to reunite. They probably so different, like, as people now that, yeah, they gonna meet for that and probably just disconnect again and go on with the rest of their lives.
I really thought the story was cool. It was really neat to have something like that happen. So I figured, you know, we could end this show today with what if we were doing the same kind of situation right now in 2015, we would have put a little time capsule together. What would you put in yours that you would want? And you know, not saying it's going to be picked up 20 years later, but if it was picked up 20 years later, what would you want the future? What would you want to be in your time capsule for them to see? And this is for our listeners as well. And if they want to comment on what they will put in theirs, use the hashtag.
Something that represents me, or just something that I want them to know about the earth?
It can be. I was very vague, but you can do something that represents you, something that represents society, something that represents our world. But for our listeners as well, if they want to get involved, they can hashtag MACnTtimeCapsule. You'll see it right there on your screen. MACnTtimeCapsule hashtag, and let us know what you would put in your time capsule. But
don't trust the humans. No. Don't trust the humans. Find you a Bible as soon as possible. Shoot, in 20 years, ain't no telling what Earth gonna look like. The way it's going.
Right. I know for me personally, I would put, because I'm a sports fan, I would put a copy of the DVD of Michael Jordan's Come Fly With Me.
Oh, Lord.
Also, just because it is a very interesting read, and it'll probably still be around. Honestly, it will be still around because the internet will be evolved into something just that you can probably, reach out in the space and just touch and turn it on. But I also put in there Charles Barkley's book. I might be wrong, but I doubt it. I love that book. It is hilarious. And I would make...
Let me interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of books, I still got your Magic and Larry book, so I'm going to just put your book in there. Because I think that's a good read about Magic and Larry Bird. Because for all you would think they just hated each other, but they actually were good friends.
And my last thing I would put in there is I don't know if I type it up or I just write it on a napkin, whatever I do, but there's a quote that I really like by Thomas Monson. It is, "The past is behind, learn from it. The future is ahead, prepare for it. The present is here, live it." And I really think that's a nice quote, and I would want that in there. And hopefully, in 20 years, people can pick up on hints.
Well, I want to say, smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from others' mistakes. Thank you, Dr. Mike.
Yes, very good, very good. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us today.
Next week,
last episode.
She won't be in the building. She'll be in Orlando, Florida.
Uh-oh.
At the conference. I don't know if Macaroni going to get a host. Come in.
I'm about to say, are we broadcasting from Orlando? What's going down?
Yeah. I see, how they be tripping with the internet, want you to pay. Well, I should get a conference pass.
All right, well.
We'll see.
Hopefully you do, because next week is the season finale of the MACnT show.
Oh, Lord, yeah, I got to find a way. You're going to put me on the phone or something.
Yeah, we'll work something out. But, yeah, next week, our season finale. We're going to take a little break and be back around the time college football is kicking off. And, yeah, so, yeah, season finale next week. TLB broadcasting live from Orlando.
Orlando, Florida. Go Gators.
Yes, go Gators. Well, like I said, that's going to be our show for this time around. Like always, I am one of your co-hosts, Brian McKay, and I am with
T Davis.
And this is the Mac and T Show podcast. Thank you for listening.